Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, October 26, 2017. I'm Cody Hathaway. This is Pulsar. Tonight we're going back over Jesus Campos' revelation. Actually coming up on Tucker, the head of MGM's union is going to be joining him. So there's going to be more information coming out on that. Paddock's hard drive's missing. And then the timeline changed yet again, so we're going to go back over that. And get into the news of the day, JFK files. Some have been released, but a lot were withheld about the CIA. That's a pretty big deal. Because if there's nothing to hide, why are they hiding? Unless, they had something to do with it. So, get into that and enjoy. Just watched the Tucker segment with the union boss of Jesus Campos. So I guess Jesus Campos went to Mexico and received treatment just days after the shooting, but didn't get everything removed, according to the union boss. He still works at MGM. It's not to the union boss's knowledge, which was interesting wording, that Jesus Campos saw Paddock before the shooting, and also on if MGM forced Jesus Campos to go on Ellen. But clearly MGM's in charge of Jesus Campos. It may not be MGM solely, though. I mean, just look at all this stuff. Like, just a little light of mine. See, look at that right there. Must have knew I was talking about. Let it shine. MGM Resorts. Stand ads. But anyway, this is ABC News. Las Vegas shooter's laptop is missing its hard drive. So it took 22 days for the FBI and all them to figure out that the laptop, or one of the laptops, didn't have a hard drive. Where is that hard drive? Why is everything changing all the time with this thing? Laptop computer recovered from the Las Vegas hotel room where Stephen Paddock launched the deadliest mass shooting. Blah, blah, blah. Paddock is believed to have removed the hard drive before fatally shooting him. So how do they know that? Like, how do they know, like, they knew his action right before then? Like, oh, he just, like, come on, and it's not recovered? Like, how do they know that, oh, he's believed to remove it before fatally shooting himself, but the device is missing? Like, he purchased software designed to erase files from a hard drive, but without the hard drive to examine it. Okay. I mean, that's as one source said. Like, that's not. I don't buy that. Like, why was he gambling millions and millions of dollars? Like, he was only in certain restate deals that he wouldn't have had that much money to live the lifestyle he did after making those deals. He was doing, so he was gun running, he was working for the FBI. It had to be something like this. Why else don't we know stuff? Why else? There's no sense. And they say, oh yeah, they removed hard drives here. Okay. But also, these weren't government cover-ups. Or supposed government. At least we learned a motive. And we learned a lot of information, like, within a week. It's been 22 days with this. We still don't really even know much. Look, new timeline in Las Vegas Massacre may offer new insights. What was the, New York Times. I don't know, I wouldn't have put them on this story, but that's just me. And supposedly They say, yeah, instead of being shot right before the assault, they claim that Campos was targeted at 10:06 p.m., 1 minute after Stephen Paddock opened fire on the crowd. Okay. So we analyzed every single burst of gunfire, which had its own fingerprint. See? Well, they somehow say multiple shooters, but they don't mention that at all. Like 900 rounds, they really believe Paddock blew 900 rounds when you look at the photos of inside the hotel room. And you see, sorry about that, you see about, I don't know, maybe 100 shell casings, if that. That's being generous. But, I mean, come on. Like, look, at 11:20 p.m., and then they breach it. I mean, come on now. And folks, the whole thing doesn't make sense. It really doesn't at all. I mean, come on, 4 pages of all different articles, all different stories in 22 days. Tell me how often that happens. Why is it happening here? Why is the laptop hard drive suddenly missing? Why is the coroner's office in Vegas locked down, for God's sakes? Saw that in my other video. I mean, seriously. I mean, let's go into an older article here, and then let's go into a newer article here. Yeah, do this. So this is on October 4th. Now get this. This is only a couple days after the shooting. Okay? Independent journalism obtained 2 receipts from Paddock's 32nd floor suite for 2 guests. 2 receipts. Oh wait, no. 1 receipt, sorry. It says duplicate receipt. Duh. Seriously, a lot of food there. 2 Pepsis. Okay, 2 Pepsis. A lot of food. That ain't for 1 person. There was a second person there. I don't think they said he had a prostitute, but I don't think he was feeding the girl. Really don't think he was doing that. The date on the receipt says September 27th, and it actually came out that yes, he checked in on the 25th, not the 28th. Like they said at first. They're trying to lie to us then. When he was checked in on the 25th, got the receipt, got that food on the 27th. And come on. Alright, and then let's look at this newer article here. Oh yeah, and get this. I mean, Jesus Campos went on Ellen after he canceled on multiple mainstream media interviews, including Fox, Sean Hannity, and then went missing. But that wasn't when he was in Mexico. He went to Mexico before all that. At least we think. Who knows? Let's see. Body language experts signs of deception in Jesus Campos Ellen interview. It's from October 26th. Or no, it's not. It's from October 19th. I'm like, wait a minute. October 19th.
You're supposed to go check on it, right?
Ellen says a certain amount of time supposed to check out on it, right? She's talking about the door the security guard checked on and the maintenance man. Jesus responds, yes, we got notifications. And he gives a quick raised left eyebrow. No knowledge confirmed between the two, between him and Ellen.
Yes, we got notifications, making sure that to secure them, or if they were already been secured, just making that that check on the doors.
Okay.
making sure that to secure them, and he searches for the word. Or if already secure, making. And it's the general phrase, it puts it in the mind statement, but policy of alarms and doors. That check on the doors, search again. A lot of searching with the mind, trying to remember the story that he's putting out. While retelling the story, he relies heavily on emotion for memory. It's a memory trick. Associating things to memory by emotion helps with recall. So if you've got a story in your mind and you associate it with something in your mind that is emotional, it helps you to remember it better.
It didn't open, and it was blocked off, so I had to reroute after I would drop down and then came back through the hallway. And then I approached the room.
Because he has no memory on any visuals of that event. That's not normal. And he also is struggling with it. And you can see that when he does his slow eye closing. So he's struggling to remember it. Another part of the video, Stephen puts his hand on Jesus' back in comfort. It is an unnatural movement. It is not comforting and a friendly comfort. It is awkward, and it's not on any cues that Jesus touch on Jesus is on cue, and Jesus is given no indication that he needs comforting when she does it. Both show signs of deception throughout the show.
Well, that wasn't the newer article I wanted to show you, but when I scrolled past it, it was definitely something I had to show you. But yeah, I mean, that's a body language expert right there. I believe the article gives a name. No, it just says a body language expert. But I mean, it clearly shows bombards body language. So yeah, I mean, they know their stuff. Definitely do. Oh yeah, and then this was interesting. Ellen producers were mum on how they landed the Campos interview. I mean, they wouldn't tell anybody, probably because MGM won't let them tell them, because Ellen has business deals with MGM. Yeah. No trust, that's Jesus Campos' place. No trespassing. It was with armed security all around it. I mean, exactly. I gotta get off this. But anyways, I mean, it just keeps getting more and more insane each day, more and more just abnormal each day, and it's terrible. Like, we should be able to know this stuff. But that's about all I got for tonight on this. I'll continue to post more as stuff comes out. That's for sure. Yeah. Kennedy docs. I was hoping something like this would pop up. Oh yeah, MSNBC reporter accused for sexual assault. Kind of funny. I mean, not funny, but it's funny of who it's happening to. And see, the Washington Post, they mislead you here. It says Trump delays release of hundreds. No, Trump only had to delay the release because the CIA and FBI failed to reach the deadline to get all those documents onto Trump's desk. They only got partial amount of documents onto Trump's desk, so Trump released those documents because they were on his desk when they needed to be on his desk. The other ones weren't because CIA is hiding something. They don't want some stuff to get out there. 25-year legal deadline. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, only 2,800, and I believe there was supposed to be 30-something thousand to be released. Yeah. It's not good to do. Telegraph. live blog, it looks like. See what their initial one was. $50-year or release of files 150-year wait for conspiracies. 28,000. See, the Washington Post got it wrong. It said 2,800. 28,000. Okay, so yeah, there's still a lot more documents to be released, but not as much as I thought. These updates here are part of the files, which isn't really new. There's a lot of things, you knew about the Mexico City trip. That wasn't too new. But yeah, he was visiting the Cuban and Soviet Union embassies there to get visas, but much about his time there remains unknown. Mexico City, hell, that's where Trotsky fled to and then eventually got an ice pick in his head from Stalin. Well, not Stalin himself, but from, his men. So there's a lot of communist thing going on in Mexico City. You got Nicaragua to the south of there, too. And there's just all kinds of stuff going on. CIA's efforts to encourage citizens in Cuba to put pressure on Cuban communists by creating distrust and disunity. CIA is planning to kill off Castro, but that's nothing new. Okay, this is funny. In a statement on Thursday evening, the agency said none of the 18,000 remaining records will be withheld in full, and that the redacted or blacked out parts of these remaining records represent less than 1%. Okay, that's funny. Believe that when I see it. We just need to see those remaining 8. That's 18,000 records right there. It says it's released in 69,000, but only 28,000 were released. Because they didn't get to the president's desk on time. Yeah, see, too sensitive to release. Come on. Anyways, in other news,
we're now learning that John Podesta, the former Hillary Clinton campaign chairman, as well as the former Democratic National Committee campaign chair.
Okay, we're not gonna listen. God, I can't stand her. But yeah, top Dems deny knowledge of payments firm behind Trump dossier. Of course they will. They're gonna distance themselves from this. They need to get reelected. Okay, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman John Podesta and former DNC chairman W. Watchman Schultz, who's also under investigation for other things like trying to tamper with evidence, and she was connected to the Amon Irwans who destroyed hard drives and tried to flee to Pakistan and wired $300,000 to Pakistan, but he got caught at Dulles right before he could do that. So yeah, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is no stranger to corruptness and scandals. Neither is Hillary, neither is John Podesta for that matter. Surprised CNN is, I'm definitely not going to give us any juicy information, but these are giving you an overview. John Podesta. Still, at this point in time, I just want to know who that Republican was. Well, I'm pretty sure we know who it is. It's John McCain, who also paid for it. But I mean, those are all the people colluding with the Russians right there. Hillary, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, John Podesta, and John McCain, all colluding with the Russians to influence the election. It's all there, and it's going to come out, and people are going to get in trouble for this one. It's going to be too big to ignore. The DOJ is going to go after it. The FBI is already after it. Congress is already after it. Only a matter of time. Alright, went over a good bit of things, mainly with the Jesus Campos and the Vegas Massacre. A few things out of the way there. And then the JFK files, which are really interesting. I'll probably have more on that as well tomorrow. If not this weekend, or hold off till Monday. Probably won't be doing anything on Sunday. But yeah, really my theory here is, with the whole Vegas thing, is that Paddock was running guns. Possibly selling ISIS, because you gotta remember, he had tannerite in his car that they found. Tannerite, which is an explosive substance, and I believe he also had blanking right now. Same stuff Timothy McVeigh used in the Oklahoma City bombing. Blanking on that right now, but I also think that Jesus Campos was part of that sting. Was part of the FBI sting, and it got caught up in a firefight, and the whole thing just sinks to high heaven. I mean, look what's going on. Seriously, the official story is blown all out of proportions, and it's not making any sense still to this day. So, with that, we'll get back to this. Maybe tomorrow. Not tomorrow, try Saturday, but definitely Monday. And just keep looking for the truth, keep being curious, keep asking questions. Wake up. Do not let them just sit there and program you, tell you what to think. Don't go with the status quo, go against the grain, please. And, yeah, follow at Pulsar and at CodyEST92 on Twitter, and visit www.viewpulsar.com. Have a good night.